Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2, the ladder, and we are going to essentially cover the blueprint of this system, and fairly easy concept once you get a hang of it. But let me start with the basics. So essentially, whenever you're taught to create a lead magnet, typically you're taught to start with the lead magnet or the freebie that you're going to give away in exchange for an email address first. The problem with that is that you can get so caught up into the lead magnet itself that you forget about what you're selling, which is the front end offer. So what we want to do in this case, instead, to ensure that your conversions are high, is to start with the front end offer first. We'll take a look at it, extract it, something very unique, something very interesting out of the front end offer to create the lead magnet. So essentially we're working backwards here, and the reason why that is the case is because that if you extract something from the front end offer and you create the lead magnet and you work backwards, you will essentially create something high converting and more congruent. And more on that later on. So essentially you need to know what you're selling first. So what is your front end offer about? If you don't have it created, that's fine, but you really need to know, what are you selling? So why do you need to know what you're selling? Well, the reason why is if you don't know what you're selling, then your lead magnet will create very low conversions. You're not going to set the expectations by avoiding congruency. So the lead magnet is going to set the tone. So it's very, very important, and it'll set the expectations. If somebody downloads the lead magnet, they are put into a very specific mindset, and they have a very specific expectation. If that expectation is not fulfilled via the front end offer and the one-time offers and things like that, you'll cause issue and confusion, and we don't want that, because you're not really going to get anybody to really be interested in your product or service or whatever you're trying to sell, right? So the lead magnet sets the tone for what is about to come. It attracts a person of a very specific problem, a very specific mindset, who wants to move forward. And as they're moving forward, that's telling you, hey, I'm interested, because your lead magnet set the tone or my mindset or whatever I'm thinking. So if the lead magnet does not match up with the front end offer, your prospect won't really be interested in what you have to offer later on. So let's take a look at the blueprint diagram. First of all, I want to talk about what you should avoid doing. So typically somebody gets a lead magnet, they're sent to the front end offer. It needs to be congruent. If it's not congruent, then this is what happens. Typically what we see a lot of is this. Somebody will be selling something like 5 tools to make bookkeeping easier. Now, if you think about this as a lead magnet or as something that I can give away for free, let's say, for example, this is a report. 5 tools to make bookkeeping easier. So as I'm reading this, I'm thinking, okay, these are the tools that will make my life a lot easier as I'm organizing my taxes for the end of the year. Now, typically what happens is you get something like this, where they are pumped up, they're excited, they're looking to organize their taxes, their bookkeeping, everything like that. Bookkeeping doesn't necessarily have to relate to taxes necessary either. It can relate to return on investment, how much you're earning, and things like that. So at this point in time, I'm thinking tools, bookkeeping. I would more likely to be interested maybe in a software tool that automates my bookkeeping or makes life easier as far as the frustrations that come with bookkeeping. But generally speaking, if you start with the lead magnet first and you move on, what happens is you create a front end offer that doesn't relate at all to the actual lead magnet. So at this point in time, my mindset is to save time because of frustration of bookkeeping. And yet I am being presented with 5 ways to save taxes front end offer. It is related a little bit, so similar, but not exact. And it has to be exact in order for you to get good conversions. Now, here's a better example of it. So 5 ways of why, or 5 reasons why you're losing time with bookkeeping. So if I download this as a lead magnet, I know that I'm losing a lot of time with bookkeeping. I don't have enough time, so therefore I need a way to automate it. I need a way to hire somebody. I need a way to speed it up. So if the front end offer is a software that speeds the process up, makes my life easier, and makes bookkeeping easier, guess what? You've set the tone with the lead magnet. Bookkeeping, losing time. I'm presented with that. I move forward because I'm interested, and you give me exactly what I want, and I buy it from you. So that is what we call congruency. Lead magnet, front end offer is all related. They're congruent, means that you will have a higher conversions across the board. All right. So let's talk about front end extraction in the next video.